Listener discretion advised. Happens. You see what just happened, right? She's fucked up anal sex, right? So this is mature content. Anal sex. And by the way, I have a bunch of videos up because I had stuff recorded for some time now and just decided to upload them. So it is now the end of March, and in June I will be doing live videos, so you could actually see me talking instead of these audio podcasty things. But I was reading through some of the older uploads, and someone asked me in this particular recording, he asked, why do you sound like a cartoon character? I didn't answer him because I noticed, unfortunately, too many black people are always out only to be negative, right? So he has not heard the range of my vocals. He hasn't heard my different voices, my different personas. There was a reason why I was speaking I had some throat issues, and so I couldn't speak in my regular tones. But I didn't think that I sounded like a cartoon character, because cartoon characters have a range of sounds. So unfortunately, there's a limited capacity of the brain of this black male who asked, why do you sound like a cartoon character? What I wanted to say to him was, God made me this way, right? So, anal sex. I just saw this Lil Nasty's video. I was just totally, it turned my stomach. Now, Lil Nasty is posing in his thigh-high boots like he's some bitch, like he's, a stripper. He's doing a pole dance. He's coming down the pole. It's like the pole from heaven going down to hell. I don't know, is that some kind of representation of his role in this Luciferian or satanic ritual? Watch him fall from grace because they set him up as, Lil Nas. Lil Nas came out, he's cowboy, he looked so innocent, right? And everybody loved him because, he was not offensive. Finally, a black male, not offensive, not using cuss words, not shooting up anybody, not nigga, none of that, right? Lil Nas fooled you. He fooled you. He made you think he was something that he clearly wasn't, right? So I thought why it seemed really hokey. It seemed kind of really, when he came out like that, it didn't seem real. And that's why I never jumped on the Nas bandwagon. And then shortly thereafter, he came out as gay. Okay? And now, boom, here is his satanic, I don't know what to call it, his video, where he's lap dancing on Satan's lap. And then he's in a pose that implies that Satan is feeding him the COQ anally probing Lil Nasty's ass. That's what I saw. Okay, so Lil Nasty is now promoting homosexual sexual penetration anal, right? That's what I saw. Just hot off the WAP, right? It's always got to be the black ones doing these things with no regard for our children. They don't care. And that's why I keep saying, stop procreating. So in the last few years, it has become increasingly popular to hear of people engaging in anal sex. It has been a taboo subject, but it's becoming more and more, even now, mainstream. So it is said that 36% of women and 44% of men they are reported to have engaged in anal sex with an opposite sex partner. Now I'm going to read from the helpline because I think people are just, they're hearing about it, they're trying it, but they may not be that knowledgeable into the risks. It is not, they say, inherently unsafe, but I'm saying, however, it can be very unsafe. So, as with vaginal tissue inside the anus is more sensitive than tissue outside the anus. The tissue and skin around the anus acts as a protective barrier for the bottom half of your digestive tract. However, the tissue inside the anus is thinner, delicate, and more likely to tear and bleed as a result of penetration. This increases the likelihood of passing infections, viruses, or bacteria between partners, and I say even pathogens. Okay, so even two partners who don't have any sexually transmitted infections, STIs, can still pass bacteria between each other through these tears in the skin. And this reminds me of a past ex-boyfriend of mine who was a Muslim, a male from Morocco, and this Arab male. He called himself black, and he was homophobic. One day I asked him, why do you hate gay men? Why do you hate gay people and gay men so much? He said, because of the sodomy. Okay, this is what he said to me. Because of sodomy and his religion, he was very opposed, but not just opposed to gay males, but he hated them. And I thought he was hypocritical because it seemed that whenever we had sex, we did it in the doggy position, he seemed to always be trying to get into my anus. He was always trying to butt fuck me, and I don't do that, and I won't do that. Here's why. Because he was always trying, but pretending that oops, like how did that happen? It happened because he wanted it to happen, but it never really did because my reflex was just too fast. So I would pull away because I wasn't into that. I'm not into that for various reasons. When I did domination, and I was often asked by clients for dildo training. Dildo training means that I, as they say, strap it on. I placed a dildo in my harness. I wore that and I penetrated anally these clients who were, for the most part, married, okay, with wives and not identifying as gay, but they were engaged. They wanted that and their wife wouldn't do it, so they came to me. Now, I wore dildos on my dick and I wore gloves. Now, I know that many people are practicing and they are not wearing barriers of any kind, except perhaps the lube. So this guy, he one day missed, and I have never felt such excruciating pain in my life. It was worse than earache, worse than toothache. It was very bad. And I felt like paralyzed, like I couldn't move, but I wanted to move because like I had to check myself. What the hell? It's like, what did he do to me? He didn't even enter. He tried to enter, and he has a bent dick. Oh, they call it a curve. The curve was not the proper direction, I guess, because that thing ended up like a dagger. It tore into my skin. The dagger, I suppose, wasn't sharp enough because it tore. It didn't make, it was the tiniest, like a paper cut. And I've never experienced such pain. So, he was not successful in doing it, but from that experience, I will never do that. And it was not even that we were trying to, or obviously he was trying to, but I'm opposed to that.